Welcome to AWS Mastery Labs, turning AWS chaos into clarity with bite-sized tutorials, hands-on labs, and exam-smashing tips. In this video, we'll explore the foundational security services offered by AWS and how they help you protect your applications and data in the cloud. Security is a shared responsibility between AWS and the customer, and understanding the tools available is the first step in building secure cloud environments. Let's get started. When securing workloads in the cloud, it's not just about having the right tools, it's about understanding how they all fit together. That's where the AWS Security Framework comes in. This framework organizes AWS security services into clear categories, helping you build a structured and layered defense strategy. Let's start with preventive controls. These are the tools designed to stop security incidents before they ever happen. Services like AWS Identity and Access Management Security Token Service (STS), and AWS Web Application Firewall (WAF) fall into this category. Next, we have detective controls, tools that help you identify potential security issues by logging activity and analyzing behavior. Think of services like Amazon GuardDuty, AWS Config, CloudTrail, and VPC Flow logs. These services work behind the scenes to monitor what's happening in your environment. Once a threat is detected, we rely on responsive controls, systems and automation that allow you to take action quickly. These include services like AWS Lambda and Amazon EventBridge, which can respond to findings from GuardDuty or Config by automatically remediating issues, sending alerts, or quarantining resources. A foundational pillar of this framework is identity and access management. This is all about controlling who can access your resources and under what conditions. Implementing least privilege access and using features like role-based access and session policies ensures only the right people or systems have access. Then there's data protection, securing your data at rest and in transit using services like AWS Key Management Service, KMS, and server-side encryption for S3, RDS, and EBS. Network security is also critical. AWS provides firewalls through security groups and network ACLs, supports private connectivity with AWS Private Link and Direct Connect, and enables network segmentation using VPCs and subnets. And finally, we have visibility and compliance, tools that help you monitor, audit, and report on your security posture. Services like AWS Security Hub, AWS Config, and AWS Artifact provide centralized views, real-time compliance checks, and access to certification reports to help meet regulatory requirements. At the heart of every secure cloud environment is a strong identity foundation, and in AWS, that begins with AWS Identity and Access Management, or IAM. IAM is the centralized access control system that lets you manage who can access your AWS resources, what they can do, and under what conditions, all from a single place. Identity-based policies are the most commonly used type of policies in IAM. They're attached to users, groups, or roles, and define what actions are allowed. For example, whether someone can read data from an S3 bucket or start an EC2 instance. Then we have resource-based policies. Instead of being attached to users, these are attached directly to AWS resources themselves, like an S3 bucket or an SNS topic. They define who can access that specific resource and what actions they can take on it. These are especially useful when resources need to be shared across AWS accounts. But policies can sometimes become too broad. That's where permission boundaries come in. They act like a safety net, defining the maximum permissions a user or a role can have, even if other policies try to grant more. It's a great way to ensure no one accidentally gets more access than they should. When working across multiple AWS accounts in an organization, service control policies, or SCPs, come into play. SCPs let you enforce permission guardrails at the account level, ensuring that even if someone inside an account tries to grant broad permissions, those permissions won't exceed the limits set by the organization. Now, over time, it's easy for permissions to get out of sync with what's actually needed. That's why AWS provides the IAM Access Advisor. This tool shows you which services a user or role has accessed, helping you identify unused permissions and clean up over-permissioned identities. For an even broader view, IAM also offers a credential report, a downloadable file that gives you detailed information about all IAM users in your account, including password age, MFA status, and when credentials were last used. It's an essential tool for conducting security audits and maintaining credential hygiene. When building secure applications, especially those used by external customers, managing user authentication and identity is a foundational requirement. Amazon Cognito is AWS's managed user identity and authentication service designed specifically for web and mobile apps. It lets you add sign up, sign in, and access control features with ease, without having to build and maintain complex identity systems yourself. Let's start with user pools, the core of Cognito's authentication capabilities. A user pool is essentially a user directory where your application users can register, log in, and manage their profiles. Cognito handles password policies, multi-factor authentication, and even account recovery, all out of the box. Alongside this, Cognito offers identity pools, which are used to grant temporary AWS credentials so that users can access AWS services directly. For instance, you can allow authenticated users to upload files to an S3 bucket or read data from DynamoDB, all while maintaining tight control over what each user can access. A key strength of Amazon Cognito is its support for social identity providers. That means users can log in using their existing accounts on Facebook, Google, Amazon, or Apple, making the sign-in experience smoother and more familiar. No need to manage usernames and passwords if you don't want to. For enterprise scenarios, Cognito supports federation through SAML and OIDC. This means you can integrate with corporate identity systems like Microsoft Active Directory, Okta, or Auth0. Your enterprise users can log in with their existing credentials, securely and seamlessly. What's more, Cognito allows for customizable authentication flows. You can tailor the user experience to match your application's specific requirements. Whether it's adding extra verification steps, integrating custom branding, or implementing conditional login logic. Finally, with seamless device synchronization, Cognito can sync user profile data and app settings across multiple devices, creating a smooth, consistent experience as users move between phones, tablets, and computers. This illustration shows how Amazon Cognito serves as a central hub for user authentication and access control in web and mobile applications. On the left side, users can sign in using a variety of providers, such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, Amazon, enterprise providers through SAML, or custom identity systems via OpenID Connect. These providers handle the initial authentication process and issue secure tokens that verify the user's identity. At the center of the flow, Amazon Cognito takes over as the trusted authentication broker. It accepts tokens from these external providers and manages user identities through its own user pool. Cognito maintains a profile for each user and integrates seamlessly with IAM. Once authentication is complete, Cognito issues temporary IAM credentials to the user, scoped by defined roles and permissions. On the right, these credentials allow users to securely interact with AWS services from within their apps, whether they're accessing files in Amazon S3, triggering functions in AWS Lambda, sending messages through Amazon SNS, or connecting to databases in Amazon RDS. All access is based on fine-grained permissions, ensuring users can only perform approved actions. This architecture simplifies user sign-in, ensures secure identity federation, and enables controlled, auditable access to AWS resources, helping developers build secure, scalable apps with minimal effort. When it comes to secure, flexible identity management in AWS, AWS Security Token Service, or STS, plays a key role. STS enables temporary, limited privilege credentials for accessing AWS resources. These temporary credentials behave much like long-term credentials, but with built-in expiration. One of the most powerful features of STS is identity federation. This allows users from external identity providers, such as a corporate Active Directory, to access AWS resources without needing an IAM user account. This is especially useful for organizations that already manage user identities outside AWS and want to avoid duplication. Web Identity Federation lets you authenticate users of your mobile or web applications through providers like Amazon, Facebook, Google, or any OpenID Connect provider. It's a powerful way to give your end users access to AWS resources securely and without complex credential management. STS also facilitates cross-account access. Suppose you have a central security team managing one account and application teams in other accounts. STS allows users in one account to assume roles in another securely and temporarily, helping maintain separation of duties while still enabling collaboration. The assume role operation is the engine behind this flexibility. It lets a user, application, or service take on a different set of permissions, ideal for tasks like deploying infrastructure, running automation, or accessing specific data. For more tailored needs, AWS STS supports the creation of a custom identity broker. This lets you integrate AWS with your existing enterprise identity systems, such as LDAP or a SAML-based SSO solution, enabling seamless user experiences while maintaining corporate control. And of course, multi-factor authentication, MFA, can be integrated with STS to add an extra layer of protection, ensuring that only verified users can assume roles or gain temporary access to sensitive resources. Managing access across multiple AWS accounts and external applications can quickly become a complex challenge, especially in large organizations. AWS IAM Identity Center, formerly known as AWS Single Sign-On, serves as a centralized access management solution that simplifies user authentication and authorization across your AWS environment and beyond. With IAM Identity Center, you get a single control point for assigning and managing user access to multiple AWS accounts, as well as cloud-based business applications. This drastically reduces the administrative overhead of managing credentials in each individual service or account. It supports directory integration, allowing you to connect with AWS's own managed Microsoft Active Directory, your on-premises Active Directory, or external identity providers that support SAML 2.0, such as Okta, Azure AD, or Ping Identity. This means your users can sign in using familiar credentials from your existing identity system. Administrators can define permission sets, essentially reusable access policies that can be mapped to users or groups. These permission sets allow for consistent role assignments across accounts, promoting security through standardization and reducing the risk of misconfigured access. One of the core strengths of IAM Identity Center is multi-account access. Users sign in once and can then seamlessly switch between authorized AWS accounts using a unified user portal. This portal can also serve as a launch point for accessing integrated SAML-based applications, offering a true single sign-on experience for both AWS and third-party services. Whether you're managing a small dev team or a sprawling enterprise infrastructure, AWS IAM Identity Center empowers you to enforce consistent security practices, streamline user experiences, and maintain robust control across your cloud footprint, all from a centralized and scalable platform. As your applications scale and evolve in the cloud, so too must your defenses. AWS Network Firewall delivers stateful, managed network protection, designed specifically to secure your Amazon VPCs with robust enterprise-grade control. It empowers security teams to deploy Layer 3 to Layer 7 protections without needing to manage complex infrastructure or third-party appliances. At its core, AWS Network Firewall offers deep packet inspection, allowing it to look far beyond the headers of network packets and into the payload itself. This enables detection of sophisticated threats and ensures granular visibility into application-level traffic, a critical capability in today's evolving threat landscape. With highly customizable traffic filtering rules, you can enforce domain-based filtering, control access by IP addresses and ports, and define behavior by network protocols. Whether it's blocking known bad domains, restricting outbound traffic, or locking down lateral movement within VPCs, Network Firewall adapts to your specific security policies. It also features an Integrated Intrusion Prevention System, IPS, which uses signature-based detection to identify and block exploit attempts and malware communications before they can harm your environment. Designed for scale and reliability, the service runs on a highly available architecture. It automatically scales with your traffic, ensuring that protection keeps pace with performance, without causing disruptions to your applications. And thanks to native integration with Amazon VPC, Transit Gateway, and Route 53 Resolver DNS Firewall, Network Firewall becomes a seamless part of your cloud-native architecture, empowering secure, scalable connectivity between workloads, accounts, and regions. With AWS Network Firewall, network security is no longer a separate silo. It becomes an integral part of your cloud infrastructure, continuously adapting to threats while maintaining the agility you expect from AWS. When you run applications on the internet, you're opening the door to the world and potentially to attackers. AWS WAF is a powerful, flexible service that protects your applications at the application layer, the layer where user interactions happen. It helps you defend against common threats that target your websites and APIs, threats that can compromise security, impact availability, or consume resources unnecessarily. At its core, AWS WAF allows you to define customizable web security rules. You can create rules that inspect incoming web requests and block known attack patterns, like SQL injection or cross-site scripting, two of the most common web vulnerabilities found in public-facing applications. You can also use IP-based filtering to allow or deny traffic from specific IP addresses, or even entire ranges. This is useful when you want to block known bad actors or allow only trusted users to reach your services. Another powerful feature is rate-based rules. These rules allow you to define thresholds for how many requests a user or IP address can make within a certain period. If someone or something is sending too many requests, such as during a DDoS attack or a brute force attempt, AWS WAF can automatically block them. AWS WAF also includes bot control, a feature designed to help distinguish between human users and bots. Whether you want to allow helpful bots like search engine crawlers or block harmful bots like content scrapers and automated scanners, WAF can help you manage that traffic intelligently. AWS WAF integrates seamlessly with key AWS services like Amazon CloudFront and Application Load Balancer, ALB. WAF filters traffic before it even reaches your app, reducing load and risk. And if you don't want to build everything from scratch, AWS offers managed rules, pre-configured rule sets created and maintained by AWS security experts or trusted sellers from the AWS marketplace. These rules are regularly updated to guard against the latest threats, helping you stay secure with less manual effort. AWS Firewall Manager is a centralized security management service that simplifies how you configure and enforce firewall rules across your entire AWS organization. With centralized administration, Firewall Manager gives your security teams a single point of control to manage security policies and firewall rules across multiple AWS accounts and resources. Whether you're protecting dozens or hundreds of accounts, Firewall Manager ensures security policies are defined once and enforced everywhere. Its policy-based management model enables you to create reusable rule sets that govern AWS WAF, AWS Network Firewall, and even VPC security groups. You define the rules. Firewall Manager takes care of consistent deployment and enforcement across all designated resources. Compliance monitoring is built in, offering continuous visibility into policy adherence. If a resource falls out of compliance, Firewall Manager doesn't just alert you, it can automatically remediate the issue, applying the correct rules to restore protection without manual intervention. The service supports multi-service integration, giving you unified control over your web application firewall, network firewalls, and VPC security groups from a single console. This reduces configuration sprawl and simplifies security governance. For organizations managing large dynamic environments, security group management becomes critical. Firewall Manager allows centralized control and auditing of security group rules, helping you spot overly permissive access and enforce tighter controls across accounts. And with resource tagging integration, policies can be applied based on tags, allowing you to tailor protections by workload type, environment, or sensitivity. This targeted approach ensures the right level of protection is applied where it matters most. With AWS Firewall Manager, security isn't just about defense. It's about intelligent, automated governance at scale. It empowers organizations to move faster with confidence, knowing that their network protections are always one step ahead. Data is one of your most valuable assets, and protecting it is absolutely critical. KMS is a centralized key management service that allows you to create, manage, and control the encryption keys used to secure your data across AWS. At the core of KMS is secure, centralized control. You can create your own customer-managed keys or use AWS-managed keys depending on your needs. These keys are used to encrypt and decrypt data across a wide range of AWS services, helping you meet security best practices and compliance requirements. One of the strongest advantages of KMS is that your keys are protected by FIPS 140-2 Validated Hardware Security Modules, or HSMs. These are tamper-resistant, dedicated physical devices that provide a high level of assurance and security for your cryptographic keys. AWS KMS also supports automatic key rotation, which helps improve your security posture by rotating keys on a schedule without requiring changes to your applications. This means you can keep your encryption fresh without added complexity. With granular access control, you have full power to define who can manage your keys and who can use them to encrypt or decrypt data. IAM policies and KMS-specific key policies give you fine-grained access control down to the individual user, role, or service. KMS is also seamlessly integrated with many AWS services like Amazon S3, RDS, DynamoDB, EBS, and Lambda. That means you can turn on encryption with just a few clicks, and AWS will handle the encryption and key usage behind the scenes. Every action taken in KMS, whether it's key creation, deletion, or usage, is logged to AWS CloudTrail, giving you full visibility into how and when your keys are being accessed. This makes it easier to meet audit and compliance requirements. And for organizations with a global footprint, AWS KMS supports multi-region keys. This means you can create a key once and replicate it securely across regions, allowing your applications to encrypt and decrypt data in different AWS regions, while still maintaining centralized control and visibility. Hard-coding secrets into application code or configuration files is risky and can lead to serious security breaches if exposed. That's where AWS Secrets Manager comes in. AWS Secrets Manager is a fully managed service that provides secure storage, encryption, and lifecycle management for sensitive information. At its core, the service helps you centralize and manage access to secrets in a secure and scalable way, eliminating the need for hard-coded credentials and manual secret distribution. One of the standout features of Secrets Manager is its support for automatic secret rotation. You can configure Secrets Manager to automatically rotate credentials at regular intervals using either built-in support for popular databases like Amazon RDS, Aurora, and Redshift, or through custom Lambda functions tailored to your own systems. This reduces the risk of long-lived credentials being compromised and enforces better security hygiene. With fine-grained IAM policies, you can control precisely who or what has access to a secret. For example, only a specific Lambda function or ECS task may be allowed to retrieve a particular API key, ensuring the principle of least privilege is maintained across your workloads. Secrets Manager encrypts all secrets at rest using AWS Key Management Service, KMS, allowing you to use customer-managed keys for greater control and compliance. This encryption ensures your secrets remain protected, even if someone gains unauthorized access to the underlying storage. And of course, every interaction with Secrets Manager, whether it's retrieving a secret, rotating it, or changing permissions, is logged through AWS CloudTrail, giving you a comprehensive audit trail to support your compliance and forensic requirements. With AWS Secrets Manager, you get a secure, scalable, and automated approach to managing secrets across your cloud infrastructure, helping you reduce risk, simplify application development, and enforce strong security practices without added complexity. In today's connected world, SSL and TLS certificates are fundamental to securing communications over the internet. Whether you're running a web application, an API, or a content delivery network, encrypting traffic and verifying the identity of your services is critical. That's where AWS Certificate Manager, or ACM, comes in. ACM is a fully managed service that helps you easily provision, manage, and deploy SSL TLS certificates for your AWS-based resources. It eliminates the complexity of dealing with certificates manually, so your teams can stay focused on building secure and scalable applications. One of the standout features of ACM is that it provides free public SSL TLS certificates for use with integrated AWS services. That means you can enable HTTPS on your websites, APIs, and applications without worrying about third-party certificate fees. Even better, ACM takes care of automatic certificate renewal. This removes the operational overhead of tracking certificate expiration dates and helps prevent costly outages due to expired certs, a common and painful issue for many teams. ACM integrates seamlessly with elastic load balancers, allowing you to deploy certificates directly onto your application endpoints. Similarly, ACM works natively with Amazon CloudFront, AWS's content delivery network. This means you can distribute content globally with low latency and secure encryption. Need to bring in your own certificates from another provider? ACM allows for certificate import, so you can continue managing them through the ACM console or APIs, right alongside your AWS-issued certificates. To enhance visibility and security assurance, ACM supports certificate transparency logging. This feature helps you monitor and track all public certificates issued for your domains by observing public certificate transparency logs, an important step in detecting unauthorized or unexpected issuance. Whether you're securing a simple website or a large-scale distributed system, ACM gives you the tools to manage your encryption needs with ease and confidence. In many organizations, securing internal services, applications, and devices requires more than just public SSL certificates. With AWS Private Certificate Authority, or AWS Private CA, AWS offers a fully managed, scalable solution for creating and managing private CAs, without the complexity of standing up your own infrastructure. AWS Private CA lets you build and operate your own private certificate authority, giving you full control over certificate issuance for internal-facing systems, while avoiding the upfront investment and ongoing maintenance typically required with on-premises PKI solutions. You can establish secure hierarchical certificate structures, including root and subordinate certificate authorities, to align with enterprise-grade PKI best practices. The service simplifies certificate lifecycle management by automating issuance, renewal, and revocation. Whether it's for a private server, IoT device, container, or virtual machine, AWS Private CA helps enforce strong identity and encryption standards consistently and reliably. AWS Private CA also supports certificate revocation lists, a key feature in maintaining trust in your environment. CRLs can be automatically generated and hosted, making it easy to invalidate compromised or outdated certificates. For Windows environments, Active Directory integration allows Private CA to issue certificates for domain-joined EC2 instances, streamlining internal authentication and secure communications across enterprise networks. With API-driven certificate management, developers can automate certificate issuance and deployment as part of their CI/CD pipelines or custom workflows, helping to scale secure access across a growing cloud footprint. Security and access control are fundamental. AWS Private CA integrates tightly with IAM, providing fine-grained permissions to control who can issue, revoke, or view certificates from specific authorities, ensuring only trusted personnel or systems have access. AWS Private CA is a trusted, cost-effective solution to support internal encryption, device identity, and secure service-to-service communication across your AWS and hybrid environments. In the world of cloud security and compliance, visibility is everything. AWS CloudTrail is your lens into what's happening inside your AWS environment. It provides comprehensive logging of API activity across your AWS accounts, allowing you to monitor, govern, and audit user and service interactions with critical resources. Every action in AWS, whether it's launching an EC2 instance, modifying a security group, or accessing sensitive data, is an API call. CloudTrail captures these calls, recording vital details like who made the request, from where, when, and what the result was. This creates an immutable audit trail essential for troubleshooting, security investigations, and ensuring compliance with internal or regulatory standards. With Event History, you can access the past 90 days of account activity without any setup. For deeper visibility, you can enable trails to log management events, data events, such as S3 object-level actions and Lambda function invocations, and CloudTrail Insights events, which help detect unusual operational patterns like sudden spikes in API calls. CloudTrail also supports multi-region trail configuration, enabling you to create a single trail that logs activity from all AWS regions. This centralized approach ensures consistent governance and reduces the risk of missing activity in lesser-used regions. For long-term retention and analysis, event data stores allow you to retain, query, and analyze logs for up to 7 years, providing powerful tools for forensic investigations and regulatory audits. By integrating CloudTrail with Amazon EventBridge, You can create automated workflows that respond to specific API activities, such as automatically locking down an IAM user if suspicious behavior is detected. And to ensure the integrity of your audit logs, CloudTrail provides log file validation, confirming that log files stored in your Amazon S3 buckets have not been altered after delivery. Thank you for joining us in this video. If you haven't already, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with our latest content. We look forward to sharing more insights with you in another video. Until then, keep exploring. And thank you for watching.